Hello YouTube, it's me John Avenger once again and welcome to another House of Horrors review. I'm going to do this quick. This is the third movie in the franchise, the last one I'm reviewing for a while. Child's Play 3. It's from 1991. It was a year after the movie came out. I don't know why I didn't do that. Wait, hold on. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, guys. My computer glitches. But anyway, Child's Play 3. Let's get to this review. There's a Chucky in the front. It says, there comes a time to put away childhood things, but some things won't stay put. Yeah. It came out a year after the first one. A year after part 2, so it was rushed in production, just like Ninja Turtles 2. And it was directed by Jack Bender. Justin Whalen this time plays Alex Vincent because he's an adult now. He's in the military, in a military school. You have Perry Reeves, Jeremy Silvers, Travis Fine, Dean Jacobson, Dakin Matthews, a lot of people I don't know, Andrew Robinson, and Brad Dourif back as the voice of Chucky. It takes place 8 years after the second movie, and 1 month before the events of Bride of Chucky, which was made 7 years later because this one didn't do as well. And this one is decent, but like I said, they did rush it a little bit because it says 8 years after Chucky's second demise, the Play Pals company resumes manufacturing good guy dolls and reopens an abandoned factory. A splash of blood from Chucky's corpse is inadvertently mixed with the plastic being used to produce the dolls, reviving him in a new body, of course. Chucky is given to Play Pals CEO Mr. Sullivan. Chucky strangles him to death, then uses computer records to locate Andy Barkley. Now 16, Andy has been sent to Kent Military School after he failed to cope in several foster homes, and I don't blame him, because after what he went through, it's just... And then, of course, Chucky follows them there. There's also a black kid in the movie as well. So they try to be a little bit more diverse. And it's different, I'll say that. You know, it's just a little bit cheaper because Catherine Hicks, there's a picture of her in the movie. So she has a picture cameo. And this is where the series kind of peaks for me. Because, you know, after this you had Bride, Seed, and they were way more silly. And Chucky had those those scars on his face. But it says... It was the poorest reviewed film in the series on the site for now. The recent ones have not been that great either. Chris of the Desert News called it perverse and criticized the film's plot. I'm like, it's a slasher movie. It's not going to be a pretty rainbows and sunshine like every Disney Channel movie. Series creator Damascene said that this was his least favorite in the entries in the series, adding that he ran out of ideas after the second one. Yeah, it kind of did. That's why this one was rushed in production. He elaborated further in 2013, stating that he was not pleased with the casting, featuring Jeremy Silver was too old for the role of Tyler, and Dakin Matthews was not the R. Lee Ermey archetype he was looking for. But again, R. Lee Ermey was busy doing some other films at that time. Mancini would not make another entry in the Chucky series until 7 years later with Bride. And yes, it is silly. I mean, it's a movie that came out in the 90s. You know, this was right after, what was it, like before Jason Goes to Hell, before A New Nightmare, and it was after like Freddy's Dead, which was that was a bigger joke than this, because that was not rushed in production, and it was a cartoon. Like Freddy's like using the power glove and killing people with a hearing aid and all that. It was dumb. But for what it is, I don't think the movie's that bad. I think it has its moments. Still R-rated. Brad Dourif is still there, being awesome. The film's short. It's only about 90 minutes. Yeah, 90 minutes. It's not very long. It's not 2.5 hours. It doesn't do an It Chapter 2 where they're dragging the running time just so that you can, you know, be like, oh yeah, we can give you a ton of flashbacks and recast the actors. I don't know. But anyway, this movie is fine for what it is. It's not going to win awards. It wasn't meant to be that way. But I think Justin Whalen did fine. The cast does fine. It's not great, but it's still not the worst. Because there's way more sequels that were worse than this. Did Seed flop? I think it did, because that movie came out in 2002. No, it's 2004. I thought it was 2002. That one only had about half of its budget, like twice its budget. But the film got mixed reviews, and I'm like, yeah, and it felt more direct to video than this one. This one actually feels, it still looks theatrically released. Excuse me, but it's fine for what it is. If you've seen the first two films, this one is kind of a step down, but it's not horrible. The effects are a little bit cheaper than the first two, but it's still R-rated and it still has its moments. And it's not the worst third movie. Usually, a third movie is when the films just all right suck, but no, there's worse. Seed, Curse, and Cult are considered not as good as this one, but anyway, it is what it is. I think the movie's decent. You know, it's not great, but it's not horrible. And I've seen worse sequels this year. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next review.